A common complaint I hear about a full body workout is, it takes too long. So how do we make this split better for all of our bro split enthusiasts and push-pull leg friends out there? Compared to other splits, full body really does not take that long. Let's say I'm a beginner and I have 7 exercises: legs, chest, back, shoulders, biceps, triceps, and abs. Each of these exercises I have 3 sets, so 21 total sets for the day. Let's say on my compounds I have a 3 to 5 minute rest period and I use the full 5 minutes every time, just for example's sake, which you probably won't. And on all my isolations I use a 2-minute rest period. On all the major muscle groups you usually have 3 compounds, so let's say you squatted, then dumbbell pressed, and then rowed. That's 9 compound sets times 5 minutes rest, which is 45 minutes of rest. So far, then you have 4 isolation movements with a 2-minute rest. So that's 4 movements times 3 sets. That's 12 times 2, and then that's 24 minutes. So with rest times, we have about an hour, and then setting up and then warming up, you can get about done in 30 to 40 minutes. So let's say the full body split does take an hour and a half with long rest times, which I don't think you'll be needing a 5-minute rest period just for rows, but let's just row with it. See what I did there? So how do we shorten this workout so you can be in and out in an hour? Tip number 1 is to spread out your heavy compound work throughout the week, like I mentioned. Don't squat, heavy bench, and heavy deadlift all in the same day. I would stick to 1 or 2 heavy compounds in a session, and that's it. So for example, let's say I'm going to squat today, heavy squat. I'd pick a less taxing exercise for my chest, back, and shoulders. So for back, let's say a chest supported row because my lower back might be a little fatigued from the squat. Let's say maybe a chest fly after that. And then for shoulders, we could do a seated dumbbell press because we didn't do a pressing movement that day because we did the fly. You can also pick different exercises, like you swap out your deadlifts for Romanian deadlifts. So you're using less total weight on that movement, but getting a similar benefit and maybe even a better hypertrophic benefit. Hypertrophic, is that a word? Whatever. Pick less taxing compounds that still give you a good bang for your time in the gym. Not every compound exercise needs to be with a ton of weight so you look cool in the gym. You can get a good stimulus using less weight. Don't do a ton of heavy compound work for each body part every session. It will take a lot longer because you'll need a lot longer time to recover, and it's going to get really taxing. Tip number 2, speaking of recovery, make sure you are actually timing your rest. You'll be surprised how long you could sit on a bench doing nothing besides scrolling on your phone, and then you're there for like 7 minutes. Set a timer for 3 to 5 minutes for your compounds, depending on how long you think you need. Then when the timer actually goes off, get to work. If you can shave a minute off every time you're just sitting around every set when you don't need that extra minute, that's a lot of time saved. I use the app FitNotes, and every time I log a set, a timer automatically goes off and keeps me on track of my workouts. Sometimes I need a little more than I give myself, but that's fine. It just keeps me on track to do my sets in a timely manner. I automatically set the timer for 3 minutes, and then when that timer goes off, I at least know to get to my area and get mentally prepared for it. Another tool in the toolbox to make your full body workout shorter is to superset your isolation work. On my standard full body splits, I typically have 2 to 4 isolations per day. Biceps, triceps, abs, and then sometimes shoulders. You can superset a lot of these and save on time. Superset your biceps and triceps if you want for an arm superset. If you don't want to superset your arms, you can superset different things like your triceps and abs and then your biceps and shoulders. You really don't need to overcomplicate this. It doesn't matter too much what you superset. Just do your work for one body part, rest 30 seconds or so, then do the other, then take your full rest. You'll save on a lot of time resting. Maybe you won't be maximally recovered, but if you're short on time, this is a good way to get your work in. I don't superset compounds because I like to go heavy on them and get in my rest time needed. I don't superset my isolations much either unless I'm really on a time crunch, but you can easily superset your isolations and get in that needed work. Tip number 4, simply shorten your rest times and stick with it. I would argue you don't need a 5-minute rest on a machine row to get in one more rep the last week. Dumbbell rows, you probably don't need a 5-minute rest either. You might not even need a 5-minute rest on dips depending where you're at in your weightlifting journey. You might have a handful of exercises where you only need that 3-minute rest period. Identify those exercises and stick with that time frame for your rest. If you do a couple of your compounds, your workouts will shorten a lot because you'll shave off around 2 minutes every set in that resting period. That's 6 minutes per compound movement because it's 2 minutes for 3 sets each. Find those exercises that you find you recover quickly from. Probably won't be the squat, bench or deadlift, or overhead press, but there are many others you probably will recover quickly from. You could also just stick to a 3-minute max on those movements, but keep in mind if you typically rest 5 minutes, your rep count might drop a little in the beginning, so just keep that in mind. And then tip number 5, for those who have smaller consistent pockets of windows in their day and don't have a full hour or so. You can split up your full body workout days in half. Let's say you're going 3 days a week on a full body split. Start going 6, but do half the work. So instead of Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you could do Monday through Saturday. It's a long week, but Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are your compound days if this is how you want to schedule it. Then the other days are your isolations. Split the workouts in half for shorter time frames. Personally, I don't like going to the gym that many days a week, 6 days a week, but the short workouts might work for some of you guys that have smaller pockets throughout the day. And guys, these are the main ways to shorten your full body workouts. Even if your workouts did take the full hour and a half, 3 days a week, we can even say an hour and 45 minutes at most. You're not even in the gym for 6 hours a week on a 3-day split, so just keep that in mind. If you have been going to the gym for a long time but still aren't seeing the results, make sure to watch this video here. I look forward to talking to everyone in the comments. Peace.